The king's chamber, with its coffer standing in its western end, is very similar to the tabernacle of Moses, which had a rectangular ark in its western end. The cubical contents of both boxes are the same. The walls of Moses' tabernacle contained 100 square cubits. There are exactly 100 stones in the king's chamber. The sanctuary of the tabernacle was entered by ducking under a veil supported by 4 posts. The king's chamber is entered by ducking under a portal containing 4 semicircular grooves. If the pyramid was related to the Bible, who built it? The evidence is sketchy, but etymologists have noted that the ancient form of the name of Cheops is very similar to the ancient form of the name Shem, Noah's eldest son. According to the Bible, Shem lived 502 years after the flood, or more than 150 years beyond the building of the pyramid. Herodotus recorded a popular belief that Cheops was assisted by an aged shepherd named Philetus. One tribe of Shem's descendants were called Philistines, a group of nomadic shepherds who migrated from the Nile Delta to Gaza. Another curious fact sheds light on the pyramid's builder. Cheops reigned 50 years, followed by his brother Kephren, who reigned 56 more years. This would be highly unlikely in a family of normal lifespan. But the reign of long-lived Shem, followed by the reign of his brother Ham, would harmonize with Egyptian and Bible records. This would also agree with modern scholars, such as Lepsius, who considered the Great Pyramid to be non-Egyptian in its origin. Scientific insight, engineering excellence, links to the Bible, a non-Egyptian builder. All these facts led to another theory, that sometime in the 3rd millennium BC, after God told Noah how to build the ark, and before he told Moses how to build the tabernacle, he told Shem, or a contemporary, how to build the Great Pyramid. If the Great Pyramid was intended to preserve a biblical message, why has this mystery been kept hidden so long? Surely the builders must have had some idea of its purposes. Why have all generations of recorded history believed the Great Pyramid to be the world's biggest mausoleum? Another discovery of this century suggests an answer. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs have been unearthed and translated. They reveal symbolic titles for each passage and chamber. The titles of each passage read like a symbolic prophecy of the past and future. The Descent, the Chamber of the Ordeal, the Well of Life, Hall of Truth in Darkness, Hall of Truth in Light, Chamber of Regeneration, Chamber of the Open Tomb of Resurrection. Carl Hagensick, a Bible lecturer and publisher of religious books, sees the ancient Egyptian inscriptions as hints of a very detailed symbolic relationship between the Bible and the Great Pyramid.
The concept of a resurrection is one that is distinctly Judeo-Christian in its origins. Therefore, when we find reference to resurrection in these ancient Egyptian inscriptions, it places the Great Pyramid symbolic story somewhat similar to that of the Jewish messianic prophecy of the Old Testament. Now, there's another theological point that is peculiar to the Hebrew and the Christian tradition, and that's the concept of the fall of man, or his descent in some ancient time. Genesis speaks about the first man, Adam, that he disobeyed God, that he plunged the entire race into a hereditary downward course. And this idea is also picked up in the ancient Egyptian inscriptions. They call the entrance passage the descent. But today, modern man doesn't have to rely on ancient Egyptian records for his knowledge of God. Perhaps the most ancient, and certainly the most reliable source of religious records, is recognized as being the Bible. And when we compare the Bible to the Great Pyramid, it's amazing to see just how closely they correspond. For instance, the Bible speaks of the ultimate destinies of men, and it speaks of them